May begins with an intercept forward. In this intercept, Dr. Brontes explains that progress is being made developing the website. He also tells Angel that she has made the right choice removing herself from Facebook, and outlines a list of 10 trialists who are ideal candidates for the beta calibration trials. In this intercept, Angel thanks Dr. Brontes for bringing in some of his coffee and for cleaning her desk again. Angel notes that she has no intentions of rejoining the Facebook group, as she found the persistent questions to be strange and annoying. Angel ends the email by thanking Dr. Brontes once more for the coffee and desk cleaning, and mentions that she will contact the 10 trialists later that week to prepare them for the beta trials. Trialists noticed that Angel's profile had disappeared from Facebook, and so they emailed her to figure out what was going on and if she was alright. Angel replied by noting that Facebook thought she was a bot, and shut her profile down to investigate. After mentioning this, she brings to attention the upcoming beta trials, and outlines a list of 10 trialists who are allowed entry to the trials. The trial was scheduled for that coming Wednesday. In this intercept, it is revealed that a few trialists had completed the beta trials before the scheduled start date. This prompted Dr. Brontes to ask Angel to watch these particular trialists. In this email, Angel alerts the trialists to the fact that there are 5 no-shows for the beta check-in. Angel then assigns a deadline, and notes that F&J will pick 5 others to join the trial, if there are still empty spots. Overall, this causes the trial to stall for 24 hours. In this intercept, Angel tells Dr. Brontes that there are still 5 no-shows for the trial. Their mutual boss recommends that they send 30 people into the trial, but they ultimately agree upon 15. She also expresses her exasperation at the sheer amount of password attempts as of late. She then finishes by stating that the limbic system video that she's been working on is nearly done and should be finished by the night. In this email, it is announced to the trialists that the beta calibration trial has been reworked. The link is given, and it is then announced the password is hidden somewhere in the website. Trialists received a self-destructing email from T, locked with the password Cersei1977. The email was encoded. The encryption method used was called AutoKey Vigenère. AutoKey Vigenère is the extension to the Vigenère cipher that makes it much harder to break. Instead of repeating the passphrase over and over to encrypt the text, the passphrase is used once, and the clear text is used to decrypt or encrypt the text. Using passphrase "stay safe" with alphabet key T, the clear text can be revealed. Once decrypted, the text read, "I'm alive. I will find a way to leave you more information. It can't be over the internet. I will be in touch soon. If this hasn't got to Ruben and his team, please let them know I am well, but I'm not necessarily safe. Stay safe. T." In this intercept, Angel tells Dr. Brontes that she may have to lose the trialists and find better ones. She conveys her lack of faith in them by imagining them searching through the source code and not working together. In this intercept, Angel tells Dr. Brontes that she has started looking at the data visualizations. She notes that they seem adequate, but asks if Dr. Brontes could do anything with the personality release reflector idea that he's been working on. She mentions that they have been getting some very strange results, but that she is looking forward to the Monday handover. In this intercept, Dr. Brontes notes that Angel has gone through a lot of coffee, and notes that the trialists are as addictive to observe as his home-baked coffee. He finishes by noting that he is very pleased with the results coming in, and that he's made a watch list of the trialists. In this email to the trialists, Angel introduces herself and notes that the trial is of utmost importance. She mentions that the trialists are entering the final stages of beta testing, and that the trial page now requires a full access test from all trialists. Dr. Brontes then tells trialists to guess the password using a clue. The clue was, "We take ownership in the collection of words and sentences by..." In this intercept, somebody sends an email asking for the recipient to continue working on the password levels page, and to keep the pesky idiots out of their trials before they are ready. In this intercept, Angel tells Dr. Brontes that the new trialists don't seem to be socially interacting very much, and none of them have linked up with the others. She decides to starve them of information for the rest of the week, to see if they form a group, but she doesn't have much faith in them. Angel posts to Facebook that she's arriving into one of her favorite cities, and posts a picture of the port of Tokyo. In this intercept, Dr. Brontes mentions that the VPN is back online, and the password level 1 is now set up. He also mentions that the lab's camera went missing before they docked, and were found to leave outside the cabin. The emails begin with a quote, "The fires that dance in the final flame are the ones that man would use to live again. Our stories retold with the memories of old should be cherished with emotion and brought in from the cold." Additionally, the email offered trialists a clue for the new trial. The clue was 17610. In these messages, Theo chats with trialists about Angel leaving Facebook, as well as the recent clue. They then ponder the existence of moles, before Theo signs off. In this intercept, Dr. Brontes mentions that within 30 minutes of the trial being open, 20 password attempts were made, and the trial was closed. He closes by noting that solo work will not suffice, and that cooperation is required. He also mentions that he found his camera. In this Facebook post, Angel announces that trialists must work together to determine the password, and that there is a maximum allowed entry of 20 passwords per day. In this intercept, Dr. Brontes exclaims his frustration and bewilderment at the random password attempts over the weekend. The password levels page was unlocked with the password 17610, as indicated by the hint Angel sent the trialists in her last email. The page featured a skull and a Bible, as well as a message from Dr. Brontes. The message told the trialists to work harder and stop trying to hack the website. The numbers are noted to be specific and not random. He ends with the very best, just before an intercepted addition to the website appears, and tells trialists to search within the image to see the answers. Hidden within the image was a text file that read, "How desperate is desperate?" In this excerpt, Theo helps the trialists to discover coordinates hidden within an image on the password levels page. The coordinates led to Tokyo. However, the next day, trialists received an email from T. The email was encoded with alphabet key T and passphrase "Stay safe" using the AutoKey Visionary cipher. The body of the email told trialists that the attached image had what they were looking for. The image, once extracted, showed the specific location of the dead drop, alongside coordinates and a map. Trialists were unable to retrieve the disk at first, and worried about retrieving the contents. In the meantime, events that wished to stay anonymous were occurring. The disk contents would appear soon. Before long, trialists had access to the floppy disk. The disk contained a message from T. In his message to the trialists, T explains that he does not blame the trialists for their missteps, and notes that he believes F&J had also underestimated how effective their own actions were. T tells trialists they all have the power to control and manipulate the trials. He continues, stating that their actions had almost killed him before he could get any information out to the world. T explains that he was drugged by H and Dr. Brontes via a cup of coffee, then questioned. He recalls that the drug may have been devil's breath, a cruel hypnotic delirium from South America. He notes that F&J do not have much faith in the trialists and encourages them to use this to their advantage. He explains that F&J will attempt to throw the trialists off while they continue completing the trials. He urges trialists to continue working together, and mentions that he is positive that his emails are still being monitored. T notes that he will continue to send trialists intercepted emails when he can, but that it is difficult to continue doing so due to the need to remain off the radar. He tells trialists that he has no comms access, and because of this, he will continue to try to establish other lines of communication with the trialists. He tells trialists that the password to the next trial is circumnavigation, and ends the message with a list of flights describing where F&J are going, as well as T telling trialists to expect the unexpected and to stay safe. In these messages, Theo chats with trialists and helps them to come to the conclusion that Angel and T are both being drugged by Dr. Brontes. After determining this, Theo mentions that the first trial will begin the next day, and that F&J are heading off to a new port. Shown here is a representation of the first trial. The trial asked trialists to listen to an audio excerpt featuring Terence McKenna while completing the trial. The trial is heavily centered on topics such as ego death and the passage of traits throughout history. The trial posits the idea that the mind is a fundamental aspect of reality, in that it is the observer to the unobserving universe. The trial then continues, explaining that in 1977, one of their chief scientists had discovered a fungi on a volcanic island. They then continued to explain that the fungi was capable of generating complex networks of communication between those who had consumed it and those in the general vicinity. In clinical trials, mice who were given the fungi reacted by communicating solutions to the other mice. Additionally, it was noted that the mice began working together, solving tasks much more efficiently. Beyond the trials, scientists had noted that the mice seemed to adopt different social mannerisms as well. In particular, the alphas had stopped biting the betas. They had all worked together to collect food, and they took turns on the wheel. The trial then continues, stating that the goals of the trial are to transfer the effect of the fungi to humanity, so that humanity could enter a new age. In early human trials, scientists noted an increased interest in philosophy and meditation after consumption. The end of the trial featured 8 chairs and a questionnaire. The questionnaire asked the following questions. Are you the kind of person who invents a way to solve an idea, or do you follow set paths, formula, and instruction? If you create your own way, explain to us when you have invented a way to solve something. If you don't, please tell us why you don't, can't, or choose not. Who influenced you the most when you were growing up? Please choose one. Father, mother, grandfather, grandmother, another relative, a friend of your family, or a friend outside of your family. Look at the chairs in Appendix 1. Select the chair that appeals most to you. Society and upbringing within it dictates to us what we must consider important above all else, but that doesn't mean we follow set paths. What do you consider to be the most important thing to you? Was there a form of reality before the Big Bang? You must have a theory. Tell us what it is. If you could give an adolescent one aspect from your personality for them to have the rest of their life, what would it be? Tell us about a smell you will never forget. The trial ends, stating that the next few days will be odd, but to just relax and go with it. In this email, Angel asks the trialist 3 additional questions for trial data collection. On Angel's birthday, a trialist sent Angel a message, telling her it was nice to see her back online, and asked her how the data was coming along. She mentions that there is a lot of data, and that she has sent out some additional questions today. She also notes that F&J is restricted to one terminal at the moment, as the hardware is down. This was caused by a storm in the Indian Ocean blocking satellite uplink, and lightning has fried all the terminals save for one. She ends by mentioning that they have arrived at the coast of France, and they have managed to get a link to a private server. In this intercept, Dr. Brontes tells Angel the additional questions she sent to a trialist are great, and that the VPN will only last for a while H sets up the satellite internet. In these messages, Theo chats with the trialist about their teamwork and internal organization. After some discussion, everyone agrees that trialists must work together as a unit while maintaining their individuality. After some more thought, Theo mentions that his answers all fit a particular theme, and gave his blood type, which is A positive. This prompted trialists to consider arranging into teams, organized by blood type. Then, they could assign different skill sets and characteristics to those teams. This would allow for F&J to observe trialists slowly grouping together, and with collaborated answers, they could even determine the rate at which they achieved unity. In this intercept, Dr. Brontes expresses his excitement at the recent data. He notes that there are 2 different trialists with the same blood type and similar personalities. He does not believe that they are aware of this. He tells Angel that her analysis has really helped him to see how everything is coming together. He then mentions that the next trial may appear in the next months or weeks. He signs off and tells Angel that there is more coffee for her in his desk. Trialist received a self-destructing email from T with the password 2020. The subject line was decoded to read New Cipher. The body of the email was encoded. The first paragraph of the email was decoded with the AutoKey Visioneer cipher using alphabet key T and passphrase Stay Safe. The first paragraph read the following: decomposition at 37.1782620, -94.3145890. The second paragraph was still encoded, so it was further decoded with Rot 13 to read the following: keep it up with Angel. You have her email. Someone needs to get into her head. She will join us if you can get her away from the poison. I don't know where we are, but I am sure it is Europe. Once we come along shore, I will leave another message. I can't tell you exactly when this will be. Stay safe, T. Angel emailed 2 trialists, checking to see if the blood types logged in the databases were correct. Theo then had a chat with the trialists in Discord, and determined that their blood types were logged incorrectly. Regardless of this, Theo notes that a pattern was identified between the 2 trialists. Trialist received an email from T with the password Valencia. The subject line was encoded in Rot 13 and read, Ciphers will change. The email had no body. Instead, it had a picture attached. The image attached was a partial picture of a sign reading Niemount Road. Embedded in the image's footer was a message from T. The image read, We now beyond coastline, and I am sure we are days from entering open water. As soon as we come portside, I will leave you another detailed message. I believe that this is the start of more trialists to come. I believe that F&J will also be launching their own requests soon. When this happens, you need to find a way to find them, and let them know what is happening. Many will be very confused. Keep an eye out for F&J's only call for trialists too. Best of luck, and keep working on Angel. She is best engaged by conversations that involve her previous triumphs. Shortly after the last T-mail, Trialist received another T-mail, but could not figure out the password. Theo appeared in Discord and helped the Trialist to connect the dots and figure out the password. The password turned out to be Annabelle's, which was a nightclub that a Trialist was aware of. After this, Theo and Adriana exchanged locations, and Theo told her that he had secrets to tell her. The T-mail was decoded using Route 13 in the first paragraph and using Auto-Key Visioneer in the first paragraph. The first paragraph read, "The village name of where the establishment is located holds the key." The second paragraph explained that Angel has been asking some questions to the group, such as, "What if I didn't love science? What do you think my parents would have done with me?" T also notes that she has stopped drinking the coffee. Additionally, in the image's footer was a message from T. The message was asking for a list of interests for use in a recruitment drive. T requested that this list be posted hidden in plain sight to the Writing Prompt subreddit, while following all subreddit regulations. In this intercept, Angel wishes Dr. Brontes a safe trip, and notes that she will try to make do with the internet being so limited. Dr. Brontes replies, happy to see that she is drinking the coffee again, and tells Angel to stay out of the big man's way while he makes the new video for the trialists. In these messages, Theo notes that the list was successfully sent out to T, and that F&J are now out of the Gibraltar Strait and heading into the Atlantic. They then ponder on the source of the Devil's Breath, and the size of the ship they are traveling on. In these messages, Theo helps the trialists to establish the route that F&J have traveled, and tells them to maintain communications with T via Reddit. He tells them to prepare for a dead drop, and that he is cycling home. To recap, here is the route that F&J have taken. In these intercepts, Dr. Brontes notes that the rate of new trialists joining is very low, and funding will stop for the trial if they keep below 100%. He makes a list of notable locations, such as Maryland, UK, and LA. He then adds to the list Seattle and Wisconsin. He finishes by noting that he is looking for the mole that is monitoring the trialists, and trying to determine who they really are so he can remove them and replace them with Angel. Shown here are the first set of results for Trial 1. Shown here is the second set of results for Trial 1. These included doctor's notes, which were originally encoded, but they've been decoded here for readability. Angel tells Dr. Brontes that it was very difficult to find connections between different people from across the globe, but that the data was so good that it made the big guy cry. She notes that no trialists chose the top left first chair, and tells Dr. Brontes to get Trial 2 of Phase 1 underway. Trialists continued to chat with T on the subreddit they had established, and helped him to get coordinates of LIC. Additionally, T told them about the make of the ship, which was a quadruple waterjet-powered, fully modified Galero Sardo 3. Trialists received another email from T, and after decoding it, they received a clue which told them to look for an image and used his uncompressed secrets to help them find the right people. Trialists received another email from T. It contained encoded text as well as an image with a zip file hidden inside of it. Hidden within the image was a message from T. The message told trialists to retrace their steps in the very beginning of the game and urged trialists to join the Facebook group if they ever got stuck. Trialists then received an email from F&J Security that was encrypted. It was encrypted with keyed Visioneer with the alphabet key T and the passphrase drowned. Once decoded, it was revealed that the email was not an intercept forward and not a message from Angel. Instead, they were greeted by Theo, the mole. Theo explained that he has been sending the trialists the intercepted emails. He tells the trialist that he will meet the select trialist next Thursday on Angel's bench so that he can better establish communication between himself and the trialists. Theo ends the email by telling the trialists to pick 2 questions to ask him, and to have these prepared for that meeting at Angel's bench. Trialists receive an email that states that the security F&J email address is shared by all at F&J, and all emails sent are automated or sent directly from upper management.